evening. I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the Thomas and Mack Center just off the Vegas Strip for tonight's main event. 10 rounds in the light heavyweight division between Joe Calzachi and Roy Jones Jr. Joe Calzachi's entrance here, what a ring walk, just brimming with confidence, ready for the task at hand. Roy Jones Jr. is coming down to the ring, and you can tell with that zip in his step that he plans on this one being a spectacular evening for him.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Joe, the Crowd Calzachi. His opponents in the blue corner, please welcome Roy Jones Jr.
Okay, guys, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Let's touch gloves.
Little get to know you here in the opening round scheduled for 10.
When we get matchups like this, guys that just won't quit, they'll be there every step of the way like Gaddy Ward. Sometimes there comes a point where one fighter thinks he's got himself an advantage, he's done something great, but then the other fighter doesn't go away. How does that play out in the minds of each fighter?
Usually it doesn't affect the kind of guys you just mentioned, Gaddy and Ward. They're made how to cement these guys. They're already set in their ways. They know what they have to do. They're not going to get thrown off just because somebody's still there.
Good block.
Keep it going.
Showing you some defense there with the block. A headshot blocked. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. That worked out really well, throwing off the right hand after getting tagged like that. Able to show you his blocking ability.
We always see great athletes week in and week out, but Teddy, what sport do you think can produce the best boxers?
Well, believe it or not, basketball. Everybody would say football. We saw Too Tall Jones. He got demolished by little guys. We saw Gastineau. He got demolished. We saw Highsmith. He got demolished. A lot of football players haven't done well, but basketball players, they have the physical skill sets where they can make a pretty good fighter. Of course, you have to get a guy that mentally is adjusted.
Good looking counter punch. Very nice work from both men. They each got a shot in. Missed the target with that hook. Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one. Final 10 seconds. Now that's some fine work right there by Roy Jones. Joe Calzachi's swelling has really got him facing an uphill battle. And this round comes to an end. It is a round that was highly entertaining. These guys really put forth quite an effort.
Well, they both have high engines. They have motors that never stop going.
mark both guys with the hook. Roy Jones Jr.'s got a tough go of it now, as you can see, swelling.
I've heard people say about Roy Jones Jr., no matter what sport he was going to apply himself to, he was going to be a pro. He was going to be successful. If he played football, this is a guy that could have been a great defensive back. If he had taken on baseball at a young age, he would have made the major leagues. We know what he would have done in basketball. He's an accomplished basketball player as it is. You agree with that?
Well, to a certain extent, I do, because obviously he has good athletic genes. He is an athlete. He's a guy that possesses really tremendous physical abilities. But his temperament, he's a guy who's confident. He's a guy that's stubborn, a guy that wants to prove you wrong and make himself right. He's a guy who's really determined to get his way.
He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect. Nice job to land that counter punch and getting away from one of his own by Roy Jones. Good block by Roy Jones. Taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what he's doing? He's taking his opponent's jab away.
Coming to the end of this round. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, a round like that where it's a lot of busy activity and both guys being busy. When you were a trainer, are those the kind of rounds that you prefer, or do you like the pace to be a little slower? It does depend on each guy.
No, if I have a fight, I'd rather have a guy fighting a guy that you never see him. Leave me the heck alone. And where I'm in control all the time. But the fans love to see a fight like that.
And round number 3 is underway. And a smart counterpunch by Roy Jones. Joe Calzachi's just not landing any body punches in this fight.
Well, he looks like a guy who hasn't been taught that. We're getting a little bit of an x-ray, a little bit of a peek into what his trainers show him in the gym or what they don't show him.
Well-targeted counterpunch by Roy Jones. Holy cow! Boy, oh boy, that's tough to take. That's just like a little love shove right there. Just a little love shove to give yourself some room. Hey, I thought he was going to be knocked out just moments ago, but he has survived this.
Well, he has a granite chin.
You've used that description, stubborn.
There it is! Roy Jones Jr.'s in a bad place right now. He was tagged.
Punch it out, no holding.
On the mark, the counterpunch by Roy Jones.
You know, I wonder if he's taking his man lightly because he is up on the scorecards, but you can see that he is being pressured and pushed.
You know, he's in there with a real solid guy. I don't think he's taking him lightly. It's just that he's in there in the kind of waters he's never been before, deep waters, and he's swimming harder than he's ever had to swim before.
Calzachi's cut man is going to need to be all over this side. The swelling seems to be getting worse.
Well, it's kind of like being a gardener. You have to start getting in there before the weeds come up. You can't wait until the weeds are all over the place and then pull them up. You're going to destroy those beautiful rose bushes. Well, it's the same thing here. You got to get to this eye before the swelling's there. You got to put that end swell, that cold piece of metal, onto that place early on.
We come to the end of this round, and likely a much-needed break for these two warriors because they have been non-stop.
No, they don't know how to fight any other way. They came in, they introduced themselves in the middle of the ring, and they've been there all night.
Another round underway, but how many more will we see? You get the sense this fight could be heading towards a stoppage.
In and out, in and out, in and out.
Takes one, gives one. The right hand scores well. Good job on the outside by Roy, able to score well.
How is he taking these kind of shots and just dismissing them? What a chin on this guy.
Yeah, well, what a neck on him. Look at that neck. I mean, it's about 19 inches. That is the shock absorber. But the rest of it is he's seeing it. He has good vision. He sees the shots coming, and he's making up his mind they're not taking him anywhere.
Keep that head moving.
And now he's acting like a fighter, coming back with the right hand after getting scored upon. Oh, look at that. They exchange hooks. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Roy Jones Jr. Halfway through this round here. Oh, and there you go. Roy Jones Jr.'s in a bad spot right now. He's been stunned.
So far tonight, he was being completely outworked, but now we see him being more the aggressor.
Well, it was starting to get a little late. He understood he needed to change things a little.
1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other.
What did we learn about Roy Jones as an amateur, about what he brings into the ring? I mean, the guy went 121 wins as an amateur and racked up as many medals and honors as he could.
Well, I'll tell you what we learned about Jones. Very gifted, tremendous talent, speed, and power. Great mix of the two. And he found a way to make wrong right. He breaks the rule book on technical things, on as far as the approach of how you should do boxing 101. He pulls back when you shouldn't pull back. He drops his hands when you shouldn't drop your hands. But he has the speed, the timing, the anticipation, the confidence to make it right.
Roy Jones Jr. is now in a position where he may not even realize it, but the eye is getting worse. Still, he fights on.
He behaves like a fighter. And
There it is! Roy Jones Jr.'s legs look shaky. He was hurt.
We come to the end of this round. Teddy, a round in which maybe a lot of trainers don't like to see because it was a very busy round for both guys.
well, it depends what kind of style, what kind of strength your fighter has, or even what kind of weaknesses. If I had a guy who likes to box, who likes to counterpunch, I want a guy coming at him. Not with a lot of TNT in his gloves, but coming forward where my guy is well suited, he can pick him off a little bit.
They are back to action here, but that action has only favored one man, completely one-sided. Hard to see the scorecards coming into play here with how dominating he's been. Blocks away that headshot. You get the sense that they know no other way how to fight. They are going at it, back and forth, toe-to-toe, punch for punch. Good-looking counter punch.
We just have not seen the big shots from this guy. He is not throwing the power punches, Teddy. What would you say to him?
Well, first of all, I would say to him, what do you think, that he's going to make a deal with you? If you don't hit him hard, he won't hit you hard? No, it doesn't work like that, my friend. He's going to get confidence now. He's going to take advantage of this.
Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
He tried to nab him up top, but was unable to connect. That wasn't able to land. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Very nice work by Roy Jones Jr. on the outside. Roy Jones Jr. is showing us that if he pulls this trigger, he's hitting that target. His accuracy is great.
Well, that's part of his ability. You know, I mean, it's not just his hand speed and that he's technically good. You know, he's got a little bit of pop, but he knows when to throw. See, that's important, Joe. Knowing when to let the hands go. He knows exactly what time it is.
The tactical game paying off. You can see the counter punch.
Yeah, you see the counter punch, but you know what I see? I see a little tentativeness now in him because he's afraid to let anything go, because when he misses, bang, it gets caught.
Joe Calzachi's thinking right now that he's doing a good job defensively, but it's really not the case, Teddy. Every so often, you will see a punch split that guard.
Yeah, he's just standing there. First of all, the gloves, he needs to extend them just a little bit away, so as you said, those punches, you know, aren't going to force their way through to the target, which they're doing right now. They're getting down to him. They're getting through to him.
He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid effort by Joe Calzachi.
And this round comes to an end. A round that was highly entertaining. They put forth a non-stop effort.
Well, that's the styles that they figured to bring to this fight. Both guys with good motors.
Sixth round now underway. Let's see who can really come on here in the second half. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Roy Jones Jr.'s in a bad spot right now. He's been stunned.
It's like a light switch just went on. All of a sudden, he's the aggressor now.
Well, it's like your parents came in the room and they put that switch on. His corner, not his parents, told him, get on this guy.
little defense turns to offense by Roy Jones.
Pace yourself.
Well-placed counter punch by Roy Jones. Boy, you gotta love being his opponent, right? You come into a fight like this tonight, you're so worried about getting off your punches, landing accurate punches. Well, here it is. Not gonna move the head at all. Come and get it.
No, you just have to worry about you don't hurt your hands. You better hope that you wrap them real good because you're banging the nugget all night long.
I don't know what was said to him in the corner, but now he's the busier man.
And he needs to be before any more time goes by.
Keep busy, guys. Come on now, keep busy.
Joe Calzachi's got a cut. It looks like it's below the eye on the cheek, but it's something that needs to be monitored. Good job on the outside by Roy. Able to score well. Wow, just sit back and enjoy this one. You can tell both guys are so determined to give everything they have here tonight.
So it's like the first time you heard Ray Charles sing God Bless America. You knew it was special. You knew you hadn't heard it before. I haven't seen anything like this before.
What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by Roy Jones Jr. Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. Well, as that round comes to an end, it gives us a moment to kind of reflect on this overall fight. Teddy, my thoughts are pretty clear cut. This is the kind of fight that just takes on a personality of its own. This is an all-out war.
Yeah, this is kind of like watching a guy who's not on a budget. You know, he's spending with both hands. You know, when he goes home, he's going to have no money in his pockets. And when this fight is over, these guys are going to have nothing left in the gas tank, and it's probably not going to a decision.
And the next round is underway in what has been a highly, highly competitive bout. Takes one, but gives one. Good work by Roy Jones Jr. Joe Calzachi's got a real problem, and he knows it, because that eye is worsening, and if it seals all the way shut, if it's swollen that badly, we could see a stoppage in this fight.
Yes, we can. And right now, what should be seen is the corner of his opponent should see that advantage. And the fighter needs to see that advantage and be told that. And move to the right place. Move to the side and throw the kind of punches that can take advantage of that eye being closed.
Blocks that punch. Blocks that punch. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. just missed. A hook for you, and a hook right back. This is just beautiful to watch. Watch how he just links one to the next, Teddy. A beautiful sequence, almost like musical notes being played.
Well, exactly. It's a nice tune because it just follows. One, as you said, follows the other. Nice and smooth.
Roy Jones Jr.'s cut is on the cheek, and you can see that it's bothering him a bit right now. That's something we'll keep our eye on. Good job on the outside by Roy, able to score well. Devastating blow by Roy Jones. Another round, will it go in another one-way direction? It's been a one-sided fight so far tonight. Roy Jones Jr.'s eye is nearly swollen shut here, Teddy. This thing gets much worse. He's not going to be able to defend himself properly.
No, it is up to his opponent in his opponent's corner to throw the punches that can take advantage of that. The right hands.
We could see a stoppage here. Oh, and look at this, Teddy, wasting no time getting to know each other.
No, they came right to the center ring, said hello.
Punch by Roy Jones. Roy Jones Jr.'s cut is on the cheek, and you can see that it's bothering him a bit right now. That's something we'll keep our eye on. He missed with that headshot. He throws a big, wide punch, and he throws a big, wide punch and leaves himself wide open.
Well, it's like leaving your window open in your house in the middle of winter. You know, a lot of cold air is going to come in. Guess what? Some hooks are coming in soon.
Good stuff in the opening 2 minutes. A minute to go in this round. Wow! Roy Jones Jr.'s on the bad end of a big hook upstairs. Trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been. The kind of fight that tells me somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision, where if they didn't win by knockout, it doesn't count.
As another round gets underway, it gets us thinking, how much more of this will we see? Hard to envision this fight going the distance with how lopsided it's been.
Let's see some more head movement.
Roy able to block that punch. Just off the mark with that punch. Halfway through what is one of the best rounds you'll ever see. Just great action.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you love roller coasters, you go to an amusement park. If you want to see left hooks, right hands, every direction, great chins, great endurance, great heart, you come to this fight. You stay right here.
Not hitting his mark there going upstairs.
He almost looks a little lethargic out there, Teddy. What are you going to say to a fighter like this when he comes back?
He almost looks like he's going into a sort of prevent defense. I'm going to ask him if he's watched a football game lately and watch how they march right down that field when you go into that prevent defense.
A minute to go in what has been 2 minutes of sensational action. Neither man coming off stride. Right on the mark, both guys with the hook. Holy cow! Roy Jones Jr. has been stunned. He's having a much better round here. Earlier, we saw him being outworked, but right now, he's the one getting to work.
Yeah, well, you know, you go out to a restaurant, you have a half dozen half-shell clams, you might get a tummy ache. Well, he's been eating a lot of left hooks. I don't know if he has a tummy ache, but he figures right about now he wants to get rid of that indigestion. And the best way, start attacking.
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
He is hurt, and he's playing keep away now.
He needs to stay away.
Able to counter that attack. Well, here's the way we see it. He's down on the scorecards, has to have the knockout to win it.
Yeah, and he has to understand that. You know, the main thing is he hasn't given in. You know, he's still there trying, but he's in a desperate place. So what he has to do now is look for one spot. He remembers maybe something he saw early in the night where the guy pulls out his hand down a little bit and maybe he can time him stepping out.
able to dismiss his opponent's shot and then comes back with an uppercut. He is hurt and damaged, but he's doing a real nice. Holy cow! Roy Jones, he goes up top and gets to him, hammering the head. Well, he may have gotten up off the ground, but Roy Jones Jr. does not look good.
No, Joe, but Roy's always been a fighter that's dependent on his instincts more than anything else. We're going to find out how good his instincts are right now.
I don't know what was said to him in the corner, but now he's the busier man.
Yeah, he's aware that he has to be.
Blocks that punch. Neither man slowing down as we have 60 seconds to go in this round. Nice strike after catching one by Roy Jones Jr. Oh, Roy Jones Jr. stunned and staggered. He was able to get up and continue on last time. Now he goes down again. In the water, and he can smell it. He's going in for the kill.
Yes, he is, but he has to be careful that he doesn't walk into something.
Let's see some more headway. Let's see some more headway. Get out of the way.
Oh, this is going to be close. He may be able to survive the round, but he has gone down now. Calzachi's gonna be partying tonight. A knockout victory. It doesn't get better than that.
Way of knockouts, your winner, Joe, the
Calzachi's your winner by knockout.
I feel like I just read a book. You know, I know a little bit more about this guy now.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Test.